knows the disappointment, the pain, and the loss that you go through trying and struggling with fertility is such a big thing, and it's not something that I've ever run away from talking about, and it has never been easy for me.
Nicole Kidman. She's not just a movie star, she's Hollywood royalty, an icon of grace and talent who has been captivating audiences for decades. But let's be honest, the title of this video is pretty provocative. Hated. It's a strong word, and
while the tabloids love to throw it around, the real stories behind the camera are often way more complicated and, frankly, more interesting than simple hate. What happens when professional styles clash? When the media invents a feud out of thin air? Or when a director pushes a real-life couple to the absolute brink for the sake of art? Today, we're separating fact from fiction to look at the 7 most challenging, awkward, and downright difficult collaborations of Nicole Kidman's career. This is the side of Hollywood you don't usually get to see. Kicking off our list is a pairing that seemed like a fun idea on paper. The elegant Nicole Kidman and the hilariously chaotic Will Ferrell. They teamed up for the 2005 rom-com Bewitched, where Kidman played a real witch cast in a TV show, and Ferrell played the egotistical movie star who wanted to hog the spotlight. Ironically, the movie's plot, a star whose ego clashes with his co-star, kind of bled into reality, just not in the way anyone hoped. The film was a critical and commercial flop, and a huge reason was the baffling lack of chemistry between the leads. Critics said they seemed to be acting in 2 completely different movies. You had Ferrell doing his big, over-the-top comedy thing, and Kidman giving this quiet, almost magical performance. The result was just awkward. So awkward, in fact, that it got them official recognition. The Golden Raspberry Awards, or the Razzies, famously gave Kidman and Ferrell the award for Worst Screen Couple. Ouch. For an Oscar winner like Kidman, that's a spectacular kind of failure. While neither of them has ever said a bad word about the other, the award speaks for itself. The on-screen magic just wasn't there. Years later, writer and co-star Stephen Colbert shared a story that might explain why. He said that during their first scene, Kidman flipped some switch and became so mesmerizing that it completely stunned the cast, especially Ferrell. Colbert recalled Ferrell walking over to the writers and saying, "What the expletive just happened out there?" I couldn't remember any of my lines. It seems Kidman's sheer star power may have accidentally thrown the seasoned comedian off his game. They were like oil and water, 2 incredible talents who just wouldn't mix. They haven't worked together since, and that Razzie Award is a permanent reminder of a partnership that just didn't click. Coming in at number 6 is a rivalry the tabloids were practically begging to be true. In 2019, Nicole Kidman and Charlize Theron, 2 of Hollywood's most respected actresses, starred in Bombshell, the story of the women who took down Fox News CEO Roger Ailes. Kidman played Gretchen Carlson, and Theron transformed into Megyn Kelly. The media narrative was set. 2 Oscar-winning divas playing rivals were bound to be at each other's throats. Rumors of a frosty set and a silent power struggle started popping up everywhere. But here's the thing. It was all nonsense. Both Kidman and Theron have repeatedly shut down any talk of a feud. Theron called the stories total fabrications, and production sources confirmed that the set was professional and collaborative. The real story here isn't about a feud. It's about how the media loves to pit powerful women against each other. Kidman and Theron refused to play along. They were there to tell an important story about women supporting each other, and by all accounts, that's exactly what they did behind the scenes. So why is this on the list? Because the expectation of a feud created a cloud of fake tension around the film. It's a perfect example of a totally professional relationship being twisted into a public rivalry. The only hate in this story was the one manufactured for headlines. At number 5, we have another case of 2 screen legends and a feud that wasn't. In 2015, Nicole Kidman and Julia Roberts finally shared the screen in the thriller Secret in Their Eyes. Roberts played a grieving mother, And Kidman was the district attorney working the case. It was a movie fan's dream, but when it came time to promote the film, people noticed something strange. Kidman and Roberts were rarely seen together. No joint interviews, no red carpet photos. The gossip blogs went into overdrive, claiming the two couldn't stand each other, and their clashing A-list egos had created a tense, frosty set. For a while, the Kidman-Roberts feud was accepted as fact in gossip circles, but once again, the truth was far less juicy. The film's director, Billy Ray, shot down the rumors, saying their relationship was built on enormous respect. He did add one fascinating insight, though, noting there was a very healthy, kind of athletic level of competitiveness between them. It wasn't about dislike. It was about two pros who admired each other so much that they pushed themselves to be even better. Julia Roberts has joked that she thinks Kidman is perfect, and Kidman once admitted she desperately wanted Roberts's iconic role in Notting Hill. It all points to decades of mutual professional respect, not rivalry. The feud seems to have been invented simply because they had separate promotional schedules. It just goes to show how quickly Hollywood can turn professional distance into personal drama. This next entry takes us into the DC universe with the blockbuster Aquaman films. Nicole Kidman played Queen Atlanna, mother to Jason Momoa's Arthur Curry, while Amber Heard starred as the warrior princess Mira. Now, while their characters didn't share much screen time, tabloids began reporting on a serious off-screen chill between the two actresses. These rumors were tied directly to Heard's explosive and highly public legal battles with her ex-husband, Johnny Depp. Nicole Kidman has been a close, long-time friend of Depp's for years, and according to unnamed insiders, this loyalty created a major source of tension on set. The story that circulated was one of quiet disapproval. These sources claimed Kidman was cold and aloof toward Heard, finding it difficult to work with the woman who had made such serious allegations against her friend. Of course, it's critical to take this with a huge grain of salt. The vast majority of these claims come from anonymous sources and tabloids that were obsessed with the Depp-Heard trial. There are no on-the-record statements from Kidman or Heard confirming any bad blood. In fact, after the first movie, Heard posted a friendly Instagram photo of them laughing together, which seems to fly in the face of a bitter feud. Still, the rumors were persistent. Whether the frostiness was real or just a projection of the public drama, the situation created an undeniably awkward working environment. This wasn't a conflict born on a film set, but one that was allegedly dragged onto it from the outside world. We are getting into the really intense stories now. If you're enjoying this look behind the scenes of Hollywood, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Now, for our top 3, where we move from rumored tension to genuinely difficult situations. At number 3, we have a collaboration between two absolute powerhouses, Nicole Kidman and the notoriously intense Sean Penn. They starred in the 2005 thriller The Interpreter, with Kidman as a UN interpreter who overhears an assassination plot, and Penn as the agent assigned to protect her. This pairing is a textbook example of what happens when different acting styles collide. Penn is a famous method actor, known for his raw, immersive approach. Kidman is more classically trained and technical. On set, this difference reportedly created a quiet, professional coldness and a noticeable lack of chemistry. The director, Sidney Pollack, even said he cast them because they were like oil and water, hoping that tension would serve their on-screen relationship of mistrust. Kidman herself hinted at the dynamic, saying with a smile, "Everyone says we're like oil and water. I hope that's what it looks like on screen." It was a polite way of acknowledging the professional challenge. Critics picked up on it too, often describing their on-screen dynamic as strangely disconnected. There was no big fight or public drama, just two masters of their craft who couldn't seem to find the same artistic wavelength. An anecdote from Kidman perfectly sums up their different personalities. She mentioned Penn would call her late at night to go out. "Sean would always call me and say, 'Meet us here at midnight,'" she recalled, and I'd be like, "You've got to be kidding me." It wasn't hate, but a profound incompatibility in style and personality that created a respectful, but undeniably frosty collaboration. Our runner-up is a case that went way beyond on-set tension and exploded into a full-blown legal war. This was during the filming of the 2003 Civil War epic, Cold Mountain, where Kidman starred opposite Jude Law. On set, there were the usual whispers of clashing creative styles. But what happened next had nothing to do with acting. As they were filming, the British tabloids ran wild with sensational front-page stories claiming Kidman and Law were having a passionate affair. The rumors were vicious, painting Kidman as a homewrecker responsible for the breakup of Law's marriage to Sadie Frost. Kidman was not having it. In a rare and powerful move, she sued the Daily Mail and other tabloids for libel. This wasn't just a denial. This was war, and she won. The tabloids were forced to admit in court that the story was a complete lie, pay Kidman a substantial sum in damages, which she donated to charity, and issue a public apology. Her lawyer stated the articles had caused grave damage to the claimant's personal and professional reputation. Jude Law also released a statement condemning the malicious and untrue stories, but it was Kidman who led the charge. The problem here wasn't with Law himself. They were both victims of the same lie. But the situation surrounding their collaboration became so toxic and personally damaging that it has forever stained their professional history. It was a nightmare experience, making their partnership one of the most stressful and ugliest chapters of her career, all thanks to the press. They've never worked together again. And at number 1, we have the most complex and intensely personal professional relationship of Nicole Kidman's entire life. The actor she had the most tumultuous on-set experience with was the man she was married to for a decade, Tom Cruise. And the project that put their marriage under the microscope was Stanley Kubrick's final haunting masterpiece, 1999's Eyes Wide Shut. Kubrick, a notoriously demanding director, cast the world's most famous real-life couple to play a fictional couple whose marriage is unraveling from jealousy and paranoia. He then put them through one of the most psychologically grueling film shoots in history. A 6-month shoot, ballooned into nearly 2 years. Kubrick's method was to blur the lines between their real lives and their characters, asking them intensely personal questions about their own marriage and using the answers in the film. The psychological toll was enormous. They were living in a world of marital strife, day in and day out, for years. To capture genuine paranoia for a key scene, Kubrick reportedly had Kidman shoot intimate scenes with a male model for 6 days straight, and forbade her from telling Cruise what happened. The goal was to make Cruise's on-screen jealousy real. While Kidman has said they were happily married during the shoot and that she saw the process as an artistic challenge, the strain was undeniable. The film forced them to artistically deconstruct every dark corner of a long-term relationship. Less than 2 years after the film came out, Hollywood's golden couple announced their divorce. Many have speculated that the intense, manipulative process of making Eyes Wide Shut was a major factor in their split. It was a collaboration that, while artistically brilliant, may have come at the ultimate personal cost. For that reason, Tom Cruise, in the context of this legendary production, represents the most profoundly challenging and ultimately heartbreaking professional experience of Nicole Kidman's career. So there you have it. From on-screen chemistry that fizzled, to media lies that ended in court, to a film shoot that may have dismantled a marriage. The word hate is easy, but the reality is always so much more fascinating. It's a world of clashing styles, professional respect, and unimaginable pressure. Behind every great performance, there can be a story the public never gets to see. Which of these collaborations surprised you the most? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.